The Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary is honestly looking pretty fantastic. There are so many things that have just leaked out that makes you wonder what is going on. First off, we know of a couple things. It seems like we are actually going to be getting that August Nintendo Direct. So many sources might have just confirmed it, and one source that I'm going to be talking about later definitely seems to be pointing in that direction. So if we were going to take a look at this post right here, you can see from Special Nick, he does say that there is going to be getting a special edition Zelda 40th Anniversary Nintendo Switch 2 console. And it turns out that that has just actually happened. And it seems from all of the things that he currently said, this is exactly what he claimed to be happening back about 2 months ago, which is definitely really crazy to see. First off, this is the Nintendo Switch 2 console. As you can see here, it has some green Joy-Cons with the mark of the goddess on the dock. It's essentially like the Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch OLED. Honestly, it is definitely looking fantastic. And not only that, just like Tears of the Kingdom, we are going to be getting a special edition Pro Controller, which, from another leak that we're going to be taking a look at, definitely looks like he knows what he's talking about. So if you look at this, he says that he was told that the Pro Controller was going to be green accents, kind of like the Splatoon Special Edition controllers, with a Triforce crest in the middle. This is exactly what this is going to be. Honestly, it is definitely fantastic. Now, if we were going to take a look at it, it definitely makes sense for a special edition Nintendo Direct. Now, hear me out. This has been something that we've been talking about for months now, that Nintendo is going to be doing some sort of 40th anniversary special Nintendo Direct. And to me, I still believe it. I think that it is going to be happening. We have sources like Switch Force that says that yes, we are going to be taking a look of 40th anniversary special right here in August, because it just makes sense. We know so far that The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is going to be releasing in November. That right there makes the most sense. You might be saying, well, it doesn't make any sense because GTA 6, the biggest game in the world, is going to be coming out later then. Well, honestly, Nintendo doesn't really care about what Rockstar Games does as long as they are the first to it. So, does that make any sense? Potentially what Nintendo has been waiting for is to do the Nintendo Direct maybe a week or a couple of days before the GTA 6 big gameplay reveal and things like that. That to me definitely makes the most sense, and it's something that Nintendo has done previously. Because if you really were to take a look at it, August honestly is a perfect time for a Zelda 40th Anniversary Special. Because September, if you're going to merge that all within the September Nintendo Direct, get a whole bunch of unveilings, that could be 3D Mario, that could be whatever next game there is, there's not really that much time to really give a full detailed breakdown on the game. Unless they want to do that and take like 10 minutes up of the Nintendo Direct, but honestly, that doesn't really make most sense. Another way that I could see it is them to do a specific sort of Zelda Ocarina of Time Nintendo Direct in August. Now, whatever the case may be, one of these two are most likely going to be happening, because like I said, September doesn't really make the most sense if they really want to promote this game. Usually with directs, we see them maybe in the second week of September. That seems to be the most likely scenario. And if you look at your calendar, you'll realize September, half of it, October, November. That is about 2 months to promote arguably one of the biggest games this year. So wouldn't you want to do it in August and then start the promotion early in September and then just keep promoting it because you want this game to sell out. You want this game to fly off the shelves and be really happy because you made the margins of a pretty good remake. You want to tell your fans what is new about this sort of version of the game. Is it going to be a one-to-one? Which from everything we've seen, it's not going to be a one-to-one. What is the new features? Did something else change? Are we going to be getting the Light Temple? All of these things are questions that have to be answered. And if they're not going to be doing an August Direct, well, they don't really have much time to really push out this game. We can say that Ocarina of Time is either going to be releasing in the first week of November or one of the last weeks of November. I know, Nintendo doesn't care about Rockstar, but they usually want to be either the first to things or the last to things, because they don't really want their game to be sort of squished up with the same release as something else, as another company, another competitor. So if they wanted to, it would easily be the first week of November and then either the last week of November, because that just makes the most sense. I've been hearing some reports about December, but that just doesn't make any sense at all, because usually everyone else's Christmas shopping is done by December. It's pretty much done by December, unless you're finding new things like games or whatever the case may be. You're finding something new. It's usually done by December, and if you wanted to get yourself a game, it's probably going to be something completely different. Like for all the families out there that do the Christmas shopping in November, they're like, yeah, we're good. We don't need anything else. So Zelda's probably going to be like skipped on if it's December. November here makes the most sense. And plus, there's no other competition. There's no games releasing in November because everyone is too scared to compete with Rockstar Games besides Nintendo. So I definitely think that these are all some great signs that we are going to be getting an actual Zelda 40th Anniversary Nintendo Direct in August. Now, what exactly could this Direct be? Is it going to be actual 40th Anniversary, or is it just going to be for Ocarina of Time, and they're not really going to mention the 40th Anniversary? Well, if you were to take a look at the Switch 2, you'll realize that it's not at all for Ocarina of Time. In fact, it is for the 40th anniversary. There is nowhere in there that is specifically for Ocarina of Time. So you can look at that and you can say, you know what, maybe Nintendo is actually going to be celebrating this 40th anniversary with a bunch of other things. Usually with their big titles, their big franchises, they will celebrate with a bunch of different things. This could be Nintendo Switch games, this could be Switch 2 games, this could be some random special edition thing like we've seen. Special edition Zelda console, Ocarina of Time, looking pretty good. But what about for your Nintendo Switch player base? That is definitely really interesting. It definitely looks like Nintendo is also going to be doing something from there, because if you really were to look at it, half or maybe a majority of the player base is still on Nintendo Switch, because after all, the Switch sold at this point almost 160 million units, about to beat the PS2, and I honestly hope that it does. But Sony, once again, deep down in the ground after shooting themselves in the foot, because hey, no one wants Sony on top of it. But yeah, to me that just definitely does make the most sense for Nintendo to release at least a Switch game. It's gonna be like 4 Sword Adventures, most likely not, because you have the GameCube application. This could be like Wind Waker, this could be Twilight Princess, this could be A Link Between Worlds, or a game that we haven't seen in a long time. We've seen Nintendo do a lot of remasters, and this year is definitely the year of the remasters. In fact, it's not just for Nintendo, but every other company. Just like yesterday, we got a reveal that Lord of the Rings War in the North is going to be getting a remaster. This is a game that I honestly completely forgot about. I never thought that this would be actually getting a remaster, but here it is. Like Assassin's Creed Black Flag got a remaster, Halo got a remaster. There is so many remasters, so they're honestly probably going to be doing another. Like Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, port, remaster, whatever it is. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the 40th anniversary is going to be awesome or not awesome at all? There's definitely a lot to be excited for. And anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for 5,555 subscribers. You all mean the world to me, and I really, really appreciate it. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.